EGM Network.
From Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host, where it's all about his beautifying Vero Beach. And oh my gosh, you guys, Christmas is right around the corner. One of my favorite times of the year. You're probably out shopping. Maybe you're listening to this podcast on your earbuds or in the car or at your computer, and you're just counting down the days to Christmas. And we are too, right here in the studio. And guys, listen, if you grew up like me, Christmas was all about Santa, lights, presents, and family traditions like, baking cookies. We did that last week. But at the same time, I was also taught, that Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus. Now, as a kid, those two worlds blended together, and I never really separated the magic from the meaning. Now, today I wanted to step outside the believer's perspective and look at Christmas through the eyes of someone who may not fully understand the Christian side at all. So because whether you believe it or not, you've seen the symbols, the baby in the manger, the star, the wise men, the nativity scene on the front lawns, all of that, you guys, we're going to talk about. I know you've seen them, right? Your neighbor might have that nativity scene right in their front lawn right now. So today's episode is built around curiosity, you guys, not assumptions. All right, not preaching, just honest questions. So I've placed 4 of those questions, into little presents. And my guests, pastors Derrick and Biz will open each one and help us understand what these Christian symbols really mean through the faith of a Christian on Christmas. So here we go. This is Christmas Unwrapped. Are you ready? You're going to watch 2 pastors unwrap presents, actually read and answer the questions. So here we go. We have Derrick West, and he is pastor at the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. Hey, Derrick.
How are you? That's a lot of pressure you just put on both of them.
Totally. I love it. I love seeing you guys sweat a little bit under your Santa hats.
That's right. The head's going to be sweating profusely.
We also have another guest pastor at Pillar Community Church, Biz Gainey. Hey, Biz.
Hey, Cindy. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Promise me Derrick gets all the hard questions.
I know,
and I get
right?
the layups. Yeah.
So, disclaimer, they are going to select the gift, so they don't know what question is in the box, okay? So, I'm going to start off because Derrick's been with me the longest, so I'm going to let him kick off. So, you get to pick one of the presents and open it up and ask the question that's in it.
All right.
Which one do you? Oh,
I'm going for the biggest box.
Of course.
Yeah.
As he's opening, I told the boys, I said, guys, there's no toys in here, so don't get too excited.
All right.
Okay, here he goes. This is the first present, the first question. Derrick West is opening, and oh, by the way, there's candy in there for you. I did that just for you, Derrick.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
All right, here we go.
First question.
Every Christmas, I see a baby in a wooden box. Why is the most important figure in Christianity introduced as a helpless baby in a feeding trough instead of a powerful leader? And why is this baby so important? Every year we sing a song at church, away in a manger, no crib or a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. And for me, when I think of the Christmas story outside of the academic and the theological training, when you see away in a manger, there's something about the humility of God himself. The Lord became flesh. He's our Emmanuel. He became flesh and dwelt among us. But when I look at the manger scene, there's the essence of humility in a manger scene. You know, when we go through things in life where we deal with family issues or anything or wounding in some sort of fashion, that manger scene tells me that there's nothing that we could ever go through in life that Jesus hasn't already been there. And so when we talk about the baby being born in a manger and wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger, it not only tells us something about the humility of God to become flesh and dwelt among us, but it tells him that he's our Emmanuel, that he really is there for us and he cares for us and he is with us in truly every sense of the word. And so to me, that's what the manger represents with regard to Christmas. Away in a manger, no crib or a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. In the Bible, you can't ever become great without becoming the least of these. Jesus talks about that over and over and over. And he's the essence of the very least of these, particularly in that scene.
So what you're saying, for those that don't quite get it, like Jesus is supposed to be God.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. So that's the big deal. And he came here for us.
Right.
So every year my niece has a birthday party for Jesus. So that is, really, if we had to really, that is the birth of Christ.
Absolutely.
Is so special. That little baby in that little manger is so special.
Absolutely.
That birth.
It is.
And the birth is Christmas.
The reality is 700 years before Jesus walked the face of the earth, the prophet Isaiah said, the virgin will conceive and will give birth to a child, and we shall call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. So the New Testament really says, yes, Jesus in a manger, that's God the Son becoming flesh and dwelling among us.
Love that. Love that so much. Okay, Biz, which one do you want? We want
Derrick, hand me that square box right there.
this one here. Okay, here we go. So Biz Gainey, he's going to open his first question.
This is going to be like a softball question.
You can eat your candy while he's at.
It's going to be like a softball question. What is your name? All right.
I'll take one. Here we go. All right. So, the nativity scene. A lot of churches display a small outdoor scene that looks frozen in time. There's a man and a woman dressed in old-fashioned robes, standing behind a newborn baby and what looks like a wooden feeding box for animals. Around them are sheep, maybe a donkey and sometimes a cow, like a little farm in the middle of winter. What is this, and what's the deeper meaning behind all of these figures together? Well, the nativity scene, you're right, is central to the story. And Derrick just talked about the baby being born in a manger. And part of the real joy of this is to see the real human element again in what's going on. Now, you have Mary and you have Joseph. And so they are part of the Davidic line that prophesies, as Derrick referred to earlier, as the birth of the child coming in human form. And in this nativity scene, you just have really the world in some form or another gathering around the Christ child. And again, humble means, the scriptures teach that there was no room for him. And so they found room for him. And
why was that so important, Biz, to be coming into the world humble versus coming in with, with fanfare and, trumpets and why so humble?
Well, I think, too, part of it's the prophetic word we have that tells us, connects us to this, but also it's that connective tissue of what it means to be human. Just to be able to receive a baby in that form and Christ coming in that humility, and then the opportunity to receive this child as God and to allow the life of this child to grow up in us. Absolutely. There's kind of this real power of I'm becoming human and going through all of human life, the suffering, the sacrifice, even this infant birth as a divine mystery, so that you'll know that me as king, as Hebrews talks about, can empathize in every way with what you've gone through and sympathize in every way with what you've gone through. So I think the whole story tells the story of human weakness and humility from the point of redemption and God bringing all of that unto himself through Christ.
It's kind of comforting knowing he understands.
Yes, absolutely.
That we're not, people say, Cindy, you're happy all the time. I'm like, well, 99%, but I have, down days. And he understands those. He understands when, we have heartache and hurt. And because he came as that humble child. So. Awesome. All right, Derrick, which one are you going to choose?
No, I didn't see candy in that box. Did I overlook the candy? All right. I'll have to get it in the next box.
Here we go.
It's really cute watching adult men open presents.
Rip open presents.
Oh, we have to just turn a little piece here and there. Uh-oh. The question fell out. Here we go. That's just perfect, West.
Nice. You got it.
There is a Christmas song I hear every holiday on the radio called We Three Kings. Who were the three kings, really, and why do their three strange gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh, why do they really matter?
Which is one of my favorite Christmas songs, by the way.
We three kings of Orient. Absolutely. Well, in Matthew's gospel, ultimately, the question assumes there's this aspect of three magi from the east. And in the Old Testament, I think it's in Numbers 24, verse 17, there's a prophecy that there will be a star that comes out of the east that will hold the key to the scepter of the king of Israel. And so when you look at it from that perspective, you have these individuals that were east, that were wise men, that were magi, that were essentially taking their Bibles in one hand, and then they were looking as astronomers for this Bethlehem star in the east. And so when it comes, you have these three wise men, by all indications, probably Iran in some of that area, coming down into essentially where the star stopped, which is Bethlehem. And they're presented having gold and frankincense and myrrh. All right, those three gifts represent the three key offices of the Old Testament. Obviously, gold, when you think of gold, you think of kingship, right? You think of the aspect of a king, in which David in the Old Testament was the greatest. Okay, then you also have frankincense. If you'll remember in the Old Testament, Aaron is the priest of Israel, responsible for making sacrifices for Israel. And on the altar and after the sacrifice, there was a fragrance, frankincense, that was burned on the altar, and the aroma was pleasing to the Lord. And then you have myrrh, which is used as a form of burial, right? And so when you take those offices of the Old Testament, the greatest offices are prophet, priest, and king. Okay, and so gold represents the kingship of Christ, right? The priestly would be the idea of the frankincense. And then you have myrrh used for burial. Long ago in the Old Testament, and even in the New, there is this movement towards the cross of Jesus and the tomb of Jesus. So right there, those three gifts by the wise men are saying to the world that Jesus is the prophet, he is the priest, and he is the king, and his very life and what is going to conclude is going to be symbolized in those three gifts, including in myrrh. And so, pretty powerful story there.
Wow, well put.
Yeah,
I love
top that one, buddy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Derrick, that was amazing. All right, well, there's one gift left. Biz is going to open the final question number 4. We are unwrapping Christmas right here on Beauty and the Beach Radio with Biz and Derrick. Here we go. All right.
Want us to get into.
Probably going to be, what is your name?
I should have done that, but I didn't.
Let's see. Here, have some chocolate. Here, have another one. All right, don't eat it all. Many Christmas cards or trees have a big, bright star on it. Why is the star such a big part of the Christmas story, and what does it actually symbolize beyond just being decorative? Well, Derrick answered a little bit of this earlier, but it's very important. You know, the Old Testament prophets and stories telling us that there would be a star rise in the east. And this star was central to the story. As the Magi come closer, they find the star resting over the Christ child. And one of my favorite symbols of the Christmas season is the star. I mean, every year we put a nativity scene up in our home, and the biggest thing we have is a star. And in so many ways, it represents, and to me, the way the heavens light up and show the glory of God. And we know Jesus is often referred to as the way, the truth, and the life. And he's the light of the world. And so when you combine all these images, you see literally heaven exploding, proclaiming God has come to earth. And the heavenly host, when they are introduced to the shepherds, they burst out from the heavens and they say, a child is born to you. A child is born for you this day. A child has come to redeem the world. And to me, the light of the star has always symbolized that there is a God in the heavens proclaiming the glory of his own self and displaying that through the birth of this child so that we can always have hope. There's always light in the darkness. And to me, even lights, period, are my favorite symbol of Christmas because it symbolizes the light of the world. And it's always been, in my mind, when the world feels dark and darkening, the light of Christ is most pervasive. And I think in a lot of people's life, it's a dark world. It's filled with chaos. And Christmas season is this time where the light is entering in again and breaking into all the pain, all the hardship, all the darkness to bring salvation, to bring true light and true life. And these are what these images, symbolize for us in a very modern world, but they were also prophesied as part of this story so we could believe its truth. It's verifiable. Literally, this prophecy has existed hundreds and hundreds of years before the birth of his child. And to see them come into fulfillment, into fruition, this helps us understand, God has always been desiring to shine his light into the world. And so the star to me is one of the most meaningful parts of the whole Christmas story that we get to celebrate year in and year out.
So what I'm hearing, the star has two purposes. One, it was like a floodlight for the wise men. Is that right? Like, okay, here's where you're going, right? Am I understanding?
It is. It symbolizes, that dynamic.
Follow that light, follow that light. And then the other is just more of a figurative that, God's light is going to shine through us all through this baby. Like, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I think too, like if you look at the Advent season, right, every time, even Derrick referred to the prophecy, 700 years before Christ, that happened in a very bleak time. It was a dark time. And I think God has always been saying there's a glimmer of hope. There's a glimmer of light. And as in the Advent season, you light another candle each week, showing that it gets brighter and gets brighter and gets brighter. And the fulfillment of that light is the heavens opening up and this star shining forth into the world, saying the brightest light to ever have come has now come. And
one of the greatest pursuits of the Bible is light, right? And God said, let there be light. And the light shines in the darkness. In the Old Testament, when Israel was going to the Promised Land, God led them with a pillar of fire by day, a pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day. Well, symbolically in the New Testament, the same thing is happening as the wise men are going to Israel. What's leading them? The pillar of fire, the light of the gospel of God that's going to rest over in Bethlehem. So a lot of imagery, a lot to take away.
I love that. I love the light that you are sharing on Christmas, Derrick and Biz. We have to go to a station break, but stay with us. We'll be right back.
This season, the Vero Beach Choral Society will fill the air with holiday magic. Join our premier choir of 30 members for a performance on Sunday, December 14th at 4 p.m., featuring the beauty of Ave Maria and Benjamin Britten's Rejoice in the Lamb. The concert will be held at St. John's of the Cross in Vero Beach. Donations at the door. Rejoice in the holiday season on Sunday, December 14th at 4 p.m. For more information, visit verobeachchoralsociety.org.
Mommy, Santa fell through the roof.
Don't put off that home repair. Get to Sturgis Lumber. From weekend projects to commercial applications, Sturgis can help. 4645 US 1 Vero Beach. Sturgis Lumber.
Evergreen Media is your go-to for podcasting. Business owners, boost your brand by educating clients with your own show. Just show up. We handle everything else. Get your custom video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and more. Start today at egreenmedia.com.
Create your restful retreat and save 50% now on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture during the Home for the Holidays event at Sunshine Furniture. Sophisticated looks with a mix of coastal and Caribbean styles, Tommy Bahama offers everything you need for your personal paradise and is all half price. At Sunshine Furniture, we have the largest selection of in-stock coastal and casual sofas, love seats, chairs, slipcover sofas, bedroom dining, and occasional furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Best Chair, Hooker, and Riverside. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have any style of patio furniture that you need, including a gallery of Made in America, Berlin Garden, Pollywood, Woodard, Lloyd Vlanders, and Telescope. We specialize in replacement cushions, umbrellas, and fire pits. Come in now for our Home for the Holidays event and winter sale. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales center directly across the street, Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host, where it's all about his beautifying Vero Beach. We want to thank Dale Sorensen for making sure that we're on the air and sharing the true meaning of Christmas and all the wonderful holiday goodness that goes with it. So whether you're buying or selling a home, definitely reach out to Dale Sorensen Real Estate at sorensenrealestate.com. And Merry Christmas, Dale Sorensen. All right, you guys, we are back with Derrick and Biz. We are talking about the true meaning of Christmas. And we talked about the four questions, the baby in the manger, the star, the wise men, the nativity scene. If people want to know more, both of you have wonderful churches. I've been to them both. I love them. Let's start with you, Derrick. When is your Christmas service? Do you have a Christmas Eve service? And do you invite anyone to come?
Anybody's welcome to come. We actually have been in our building a year from Christmas. So we just purchased it, I think, on December the 18th of last year. So every Christmas, we're really excited about it. But we're located at 3660 16th Street in Vero Beach. And our services on Sunday mornings are at 10:15. And our Christmas Eve service this year is going to be at 4 o'clock. So we would love what you see is, obviously, when you're talking about me, what you see is what you get, right? And so that's kind of who we are.
Are you wearing a Santa hat on?
I don't think I'll have the Santa hat on. Even Biz might. That's kind of stuff he does.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put that on.
And by the way, your church is right across from Leisure Square, just so people have a landmark to go by. So, and Biz, what about you? When are you having a Christmas service, Christmas Eve, and where are you located?
Yes, thanks, Cindy. Well, our regular Sunday morning services are at 10:30. We do have a Christmas Eve service. We start at 5:30 p.m. Anybody, as in Derrick's case, is welcome to come. And ours is a pretty traditional service. Candles and carols, and we just retell the Christmas story through the scripture narrative. So it's a fantastic time. One of my favorite services. And we are located on 66th Avenue, literally just north of Peterson's Grove. So if you're familiar with that area, we're the church just north of them.
Wonderful. Yeah. And very beautiful, by the way, both of you. I'm so thrilled for your places, both of them fairly new. So how exciting. We both kind of finished up your questions with light. And I will share one of my favorite Christmas traditions is going with my family to the church to Christmas Eve service. And at the very end, they turn the lights down and the Christmas tree lights are on, and they were always white. And we all had candles. And we started singing Silent Night. And, one person lights and then you just pass it off. And by the end of the song, the whole church is dark and it's only candles. And we are to leave without talking. And it is so beautiful. I mean, it makes me cry every time.
Yeah. It's a sweet time. Yeah.
Very meaningful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have about 30 seconds. What is your favorite tradition? I'm going to ask you both. Okay. Derrick, what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
I think for me, my family and I, we talk about the Christmas story pretty regularly. Yeah. Some of the questions that you talked about are things that we talk about because very early my wife and I decided, in the midst of the present swapping and all of the good things that come with Christmas, we don't want our kids to lose why we call it Christmas in the first place, the Christ story. And so that's really my favorite tradition. Having my kids ask me questions about Jesus on Christmas it just means a lot.
That's awesome. Biz, favorite?
Almost ditto. On Christmas morning, our family has always woke up and read the Luke story before we did anything else. And so we continue very similar to what Derrick's talking about, just sharing that story.
You can read?
Melissa reads it for us.
Oh my gosh. Biz, Derrick, Merry Christmas. Thank you
Merry
for sharing
Christmas,
the true
Cindy.
meaning of Christmas. It warms my heart. You guys have a very Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.